Well, it's been shifting on and off in recent times. We had new signals yesterday from Mr. Trump and from advisors like Kevin Hassett and Peter Navarro. But really, I think in the end, markets are still not pricing in the real event risk if this goes big and it goes live. As we've seen so far, some of the announced and implemented tariffs have been put on pause, and we don't really know what's going to come out in the end. But worst case scenario, that's definitely not priced into markets.
It seems like markets had been viewing tariffs as a negotiating tool for the Trump administration. But increasingly, there is a view that we're actually looking at a Trump administration that's much more focused on long-lasting, radical policy change. To what extent do you think that's the right view to be taking here, that tariffs are not just a simple tool or a short-lived tool, but rather the beginnings of a much more revolutionary change from Washington?
Yeah, so in part, I do think that's true. And if we if we move a couple of months back when Trump had won the election, a lot of people in the market and pundits around the world in media, they were modeling Trump 2.0 on Trump 1.0,
exactly.
Even though you had all these political experts pointing out that he was more powerful, more experienced, had a better team, and so forth. So now belatedly markets have woken up to this idea that this will not only be empty talk or bargaining chips. And if you look at the overall, as you point out, Juliana, on many different fronts, there seems to be a more radical agenda. And so too on the economic front, we've been hearing a lot about the so-called Mar-a-Lago Accord framework of thinking to devalue the dollar. And I do think that the problem is some of the Trump team's thinking is flawed here. They're blaming too much on other countries' policies, that's the reason why they have an overvalued dollar, they have a trade deficit, rather than looking at their own fiscal house. And I think that's been one of the promising things that Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has said, I want to cut the deficit. But I'm not sure they're credible on that front going into the budget negotiations this autumn.